This is not a dream.
Welcome back, everybody. So, as you can see, I have been 3D printing some stuff. We'll talk about that here in just a minute. And I got another project I'm going to be working on in a second. We decided to set some trusses today. So we broke the old crane back out on the hauler. But it's a toy grade crane, so the up and down ain't working anymore. I had issues with it before. We had to kind of wiggle the wire to make it work, but I'm getting left and right, but I ain't getting the up and down at the moment. So we're gonna have to figure that out so we can set some trusses. But I'm watching Jerry's Mind review. Oh wait, a Mind's Eye. There we go. He confused me at the beginning. So, and it's pissing me off because I'm not getting shit done right now, man. I keep listening to him and I keep turning back and watching TV. I can't get nothing going here. No. But I did just overhear one part, and I'm going to help you out on something real quick. He was mentioning that the chassis on the FMS Blazer may be the same as the Atlas, and it is not. I'll go ahead and let you know that one. It is not the same chassis. The Atlas is, let's see, let me think. We got the Atlas, that chassis. This is the cheapest of all of them, but that chassis is on the Michigan, obviously the Jeep, the LC, whatever this one is. This is the LC40 or some shit. FJ40, duh. Confused. And then the Michigan, I got two of those. They all have the same setup. Same running gear, the same everything. Same motor, same transmission. This truck is on its own level. Basically, this is on the level of all the other big dogs, like the King, I guess, at the time was the Traxxas trail truck there, the Blazer and all that. It's just as good, if not better, as them, but it is not the same drivetrain or anything. And the new Toyota that just came out is this chassis with a couple less features. It doesn't have the dig and the other stuff, but it does have the 2-speed. But there's that. I just wanted to go ahead and just give you that. That's why this one was a lot more than those, because they did upgrade and they changed all that stuff. And then they went to the Lexan body, I guess, to maybe bring the price back down on all the other upgrades. Not sure. But they are awesome. I'm going to tell you now that Blazer, if I had to choose, now that I know how tough it is, between one of those brand new or one of them, I would get the FMS. I think the Traxxas does look a little bit better, realistic-wise. And I would not actually take the top off the back of that because it just don't look right. If they had to put like back seats and like all the Blazer stuff, been awesome. But they didn't. I wish they would have, but they didn't. Anyway, back to where I was supposed to be. We're going to fix this controller here in just a second, hopefully, and get that crane going. It's getting chilly in this room, to be honest. So now, where was I? I printed up a door last night. Had some bed adhesion problems on the very bottom corner, and it curled way up a little bit. So after it printed, I went ahead and just hung it over here and heated it up, and then set my lighter on there because it's kind of a heavy lighter, like that, and we straightened it out enough. I kind of thought when I printed it that it opened and shut and all that. I didn't realize it's actually just supposed to, like, you just glue it on and make it look like it works, but it doesn't. So I'm going to print some hinges, and I'm going to make this door work one way or another, if I have to make my own hinges. Now, my printer has been running for nearly 6 hours today. It was about just about 4 hours to print these two sets of steps at once. This is the bottom and the middle section. And then just about a little over 2 hours to print the top section. Now, these I've already cleaned the supports off of. This is one where all the supports are on. I'm going to show you how they come off and stuff. Some items, it's a pain, and then once you learn how they come off, it's not so bad. Like the wheels, I mean, it was a learning process. The thing I wish I'd have done different on here is when I put them on the print plate, I wished I would have had flipped it and had it printed this way. But for some reason, I thought this was the back of the step, not the front. Turns out that is this side right here. This is. So I printed it face down. So once I trimmed it up, they still look fine to me. I mean, it's not a big deal. But I do wish I would have knew that, and I would have made the supports on the bottom of this side so that I would have a nice clean front. If it would have worked out, I don't know. So now, I've been just digging the printer, obviously. Let me set this up real quick. I'm going to see how hard it's going to be to pull these off of here. I've been just taking some damn needle nose pliers I got. And once you learn that you're not breaking certain things, it ain't so bad. At first, I was afraid to pull anything. I was like, what comes off, you know? At least on the wheels. But you learn that you're not going to break the part that ain't supposed to come off pretty easy, pretty quick. And it's amazing. I'm going to show you something that really amazes me here in a minute. That a printer can do what it does. These are actually coming off better than I thought. Every now and again you got to help it, but and again, if this was on the back, I wouldn't have to even worry about trimming it as much. But I'll take my little knife across there and I'll clean them right up. Now, here's the part that blew my mind. They have all these little holes on them that was built, but when you first get it, let's see if I can get it to focus, there's kind of a little nub that sticks up. Well, I figured one side was supposed to have a nub and the other side wasn't or something. You know, so they can go together and hold, whatever. I didn't realize until like the last one, I had already broke a bunch of them off and everything. And I didn't realize that if I would have maneuvered them just right first, I could have got a hold of that, and it's printed in there and it pulls out. It's a pin to put them together, you know, so you have a dowel pin basically inside. But look at that. How in the hell can it print with hot plastic something like this and it not bond together? Like, I mean, it barely bonded, but that is amazing. You're supposed to just pull it out. The other ones were really short. All these were short ones, but still, I got a few of them out. I think I got, what, 1, 2, I got 4 out of 12 out or something like that. Well, 4 out of 10. One of them only has 2. Actually 8, so that's not bad. I got half out. Never mind that, though. The ones I couldn't get out because I broke them already, I'm just going to probably push them down in there a little further or drill them out one. And we got to put these 3 sections of steps together. I don't know if it's enough. I might have to print one more middle section to get it to the top wherever my loft is going to be. But I got a feeling this is actually the middle, but oh well. See, it wouldn't make it to this loft. Let's see if I can get it over there. I wouldn't be able to get to there without one more section, because right there is where I end up. One more middle section would get me where I need to be, probably, because yeah, be fine. But the loft that's going in the other room here, I don't think it's going to be as tall, because what I'm thinking right here, since it's got this step up, I think if I was to do a room right here, like an office, maybe, and then the roof would still be about in line with this floor. See how there's a big gap here? But over here, it wouldn't be one like that. It'd be right here in this little room. and put a loft here starting, and then I might do one more stair step that comes up to another section or something. I don't know. Now I'm getting carried away, but anyway, I think that'll be enough without an extra one. So one thing I don't like about all the supports is the waste. It doesn't really use much. It might look like it, but it's not that much, but it still is waste. And by the time you print a lot of stuff, you get a lot of waste. Because I've already got a big little, a miniature, I don't know, probably a shopping bag full of shit already. Halfway, a little grocery bag. So, now then, let me see if we can't get this controller apart real quick and get this thing working, because I want to set some trusses or some floor joists. My back hurts. So, alright. Them headlights being on should be a sign that we got her working. Now, I come up with this idea a long time ago. And what I was doing then, because there's sections to the crane, you can make it go 4 foot tall. But you can take them off. I can hook the base right down here, and I can make it to where it swivels around into this part that I'm not pointing at because I got the damn gimbal now. This part will sit right on the roof of the truck when I run it down low. And you could still load the trailer that's next to you and stuff like that. And then when you want to do a taller job, you just add the piece. Now, I was thinking about trying, especially since this has got a bad wire set up in it. I keep forgetting to aim down. I did get it working, as you can see, if I would point at it. Ooh, I bet I could hook that. Ah, you son of a gun. Anyway, it ain't proportional control, none of that stuff. So when you go left and right, it goes full speed unless, oops, will that come off? Yeah, it did. Oh, well, I'll get that in a minute. It's full speed unless you tap on it. That's what you got to do. Just tap it in. There we go. So when you want to control it proper and you got a load on it, you got to sit there and you got to move like that. You got to have a little skill. I should have hooked his jacket. It would have been funny. So anyway, you got to go like this to get a nice slow movement. I'm a little rusty. Me and my grandson used to do a lot with this crane when we had the little 124s. I had a scale course inside years ago when I first started my channel, actually. Had the little guys. So now we get that lined in there like that, and we pretend it starts to beep. Hold on, wait, we ain't ready. I love this light. I don't know how many different settings it does. There's probably half a dozen at least. I call that the titty tassel. The Night Rider. Oh, that's about it. But so I like it. Get it closer to them and then further away at the same time. Here we go. Cleared. Ah. And I also had to raise my light up and everything, man. We had to work it out here, I'm telling you. Now, Hobby Wing 1080 with a Trailmaster motor. It's always my go-to setup in these when I don't have brushless. So now, I think right there we get a first couple set, wouldn't we? Now I just need a strap. Yeah. Get out the strap, boys. Let's hook some lumber up. Alright. So I guess we got X-Pac or 123 Kid, whoever the hell you want to call him. He's ready to start attaching them. And then got old Greg Brady down here. Boy, what are you still doing? He's like in between hooking them up. He's running that bong instead. So how about we try this? I don't know. This is not going to be easy one-handed, so we may have to do some maneuvering just to see if we can get this thing over there. Boom. Let's see what happens. You think we can make this over there in one piece? Will it go high enough? Oh shit. Why'd that get so hot just now? Hold on a minute, we got an issue. I found one of the shorts in here. That sucker just got hot when I was using it. We gotta check that out. Well, Houston, we have a problem. We got a board in midair, dangling in the air. OSHA violation because the crane is broke down. Now here's the problem. My hand started burning when I was doing that, and one of these batteries apparently was not connected very well. It might have just been what it was barely a connection. Maybe I can try again. But what had happened was, when I got it out of the garage after years, this spring was broke off down there. So I did what anybody else would do. I cut a piece of copper off of a piece of wire. I set it down in there just like so. Boom. And I put a battery in there. Apparently that's why they put a spring, to keep really good connection pressure. Because if you don't have really good pressure, you get a short and your battery does that. That thing got so hot. That one battery about burnt my fingers. It even melted the glue to it a little bit off the tape. Look at this. Right there, it's just sticking. Because of the duct tape stuck to it. These ones are just stuck to the duct tape. The one in the middle got hot. That is crazy. Oh, look at that. It's even swelled up. It almost blowed up, man. Direct shorted all right. Don't ever do that. Never. Always use a spring, I guess. I'm not even going to keep this battery any longer. That's crazy. It needs to go. It's cooled down at least, so I know it's safe, but damn. That's why they have springs, or the little metal tabs in some that are spring loaded, so that it's always putting pressure. If you just was to barely touch it on each end, you might still work, but it's going to get really hot. And it did. Trust me. So, alright. Sometimes things happen for good reason, though. I was getting ahead of the game, to be honest. I just started sitting here thinking about it, going ahead and just putting them in manually, you know, hard labor. And I was thinking, well, if I end up doing any kind of loft or any kind of upper shelving or anything on that end, it's going to be hard to reach it once I do that top. So I need to come up with my plan in my head, do something. Even if it's just the shelves I'm going to put on the walls down there, or cabinets or something. I need to figure that out before I block the top off, or I need to frame the top of this to where it can come off. I just thought of that. I was just going to glue them directly on each side, back and forth, and not have a plate on the front or back. Just glue them, just the joist. But now that I'm thinking about it, I think we're going to have to put a back plate, a front plate, attach our joist to each side, and then I can pick it up off there like a lid. Okay, change of plan. More work involved. That's construction for you. So, crane's out, manual labor's in. If I build that now, we got to do the removable top. Let me think about this. It's not a bad plan. What do you think, Marty? Huh? I'm talking to you. Always got a doobie in his hand. It's actually a guitar pick for those that don't know. All right.